Welcome to the Inspiration Station hosted by Joshua Lenox, the place to fill up your tank if you're in need of encouragement and motivation.
Hey, it's Joshua Lenox, the Inspiration Station, and y'all already know we upsized in 2025 all day, every day. Welcome to Friday. It is August the 22nd. Y'all, don't even start. I know. I say it all the time, but time is going by fast, y'all. We're almost in September. We are literally a week and some days away. So I hope that everybody has had an amazing day so far and continuing to do so. Y'all, we still have time in this day in the evening, wherever you're watching from. For some of y'all, it might be morning time, it might be afternoon, it might be evening, it might be late in the midnight hour. I don't know. But God's going to turn it around. Let me come back because I went to church real quick. But anyway, hope that y'all have been having a great day, an amazing day. And if you've had any challenges or obstacles, just know that it's a reminder of letting you know that you can overcome anything, you can conquer anything, and you are very resilient. So you're never shaken because you are resilient. So I'll give that to you for free. Want to say hi to everybody. If this is your first time, I just want to say welcome. Don't you're not a guest any longer. You are now family. So welcome to the Inspiration Station. I want to thank all of you on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, LinkedIn. Where else are we, y'all? Instagram, also on Spotify, Amazon, Audible. It's something else. Oh, Apple. Yeah, that one too. I can never forget that one because it gave us so much trouble. But you know what? We overcame. Anyway. Hello to everybody. I'm going to just get started really quick. And again, I hope that you all are also spreading as much love as possible, not just love to others, but giving love to yourself because you matter as well. What is the Inspiration Station? Again, nickname I was given years ago because someone told me that they felt like I was sending messages out to them that seemed to be right on time and that were needed by people. So here we are with that. But the Inspiration Station is not just about Joshua Lenox. The Inspiration Station is about you because we are inspirations to any and every person who crosses our path. And I know some of y'all are like, oh, I don't inspire nobody. You would be surprised. Sometimes we don't know who we inspire until they tell us. But trust me, you've inspired people. And guess what? You're also an inspiration to yourself. Look at your life. Look at where you have you've climbed to, where you are and arrived to today in your life. You didn't get here just off of everything going well and everything going great. There have been great things in your life, but there have been some troubles. There have been some struggles. There have been some challenges, there have been obstacles, and you overcame them all. And you may still be in some right now, but guess what? You can reflect back and say, I overcame those things, so therefore, whatever's in front of me, I can overcome that too. So you are an inspiration, and I don't want to even want you to think for a second that you're not an inspiration to others as well as yourself. What can we expect on here? We're expecting things of being open, being honest, being vulnerable, not just to others, but also with ourselves. Because we're starting with the man in the mirror. Yeah, we're going to start with the man in the mirror. Like Michael said, we have to make sure we're giving ourselves attention, make sure we're giving ourselves care, make sure we're giving ourselves love, and making sure that we're being transparent with ourselves because that's the way we heal, that's the way we change, that's the way we make difference and we become a difference. There'll be people on here of all walks of life. Y'all, people have been busy. The summer times, and I get it, people are traveling, people are booked and busy, have shows, are taping, are busy with their careers and things of that nature, but people coming on here, as you've already seen, for me to interview, so we can also allow them to shine their light to us, y'all, so we can also learn from them, get nuggets from them, and be encouraged and inspired by them to go do greater things and become better people. So I'll be having people on here, people who you may have seen, you've heard of, you know very well from a distance, some people that you may have never even met. But guess what? Everybody is a star. Everybody is a superstar to me. What's that song? You don't have to be a star, baby. Hey, to be in my show. So, but the point of me saying it is that you don't have to be a star to be on this show or for people to be in your lives, but all of you are stars. And in my opinion, everybody's a superstar. I don't care if you're on the street corner or I don't care if you're at the top of the status, the highest status in America. I don't care if you're the richest or wealthiest person, you're a superstar. If you're a person who is in struggling or low income, you're a superstar. I don't care who you are. You are a superstar. Just point to yourself and say, I am a superstar. Not because Joshua Lenox told me so, but just because I am that. And that's it. And that settles it. And I don't want to hear anything else about it. Okay. So We're going to move on really quick. What I want to say to you today, y'all, we want to talk about the four D's. D as in dog, the four D's. Can y'all say that out loud? The four D's. Yes. What are the four D's, y'all? Dismissed, disqualified, disposed, and discarded. And what is my message to you today, really quick? You are not dismissed, disqualified, disposed, or discarded. Where do these words come from, and when do we feel these things the most? Sometimes these four words, not three, y'all bear with me. These four D's show up when we are starting to walk into greater things, good things, exciting things, things we've been praying for, things we've been crying for, things we've been desiring for years, things that we've been dreaming about, things we made vision boards about, things we've journaled about, things we put in our diary about, all of these things that might show up in your life. And it's like, wait a minute, I want to embrace all of this, but for some reason, these four D's are showing up because this is a little different. This is a little new, but I asked for it. But, let's just define these things really quick, y'all. Dismiss, what is that defined as really quick? To be sent away. To be sent away is to be dismissed. Disqualified is to be ineligible for a prize. Disposed is to get rid of simply. And discarded is like the neighboring twin to dispose, is just to get rid of as no longer useful. And all of these D's, one thing that they have in common is rejection. Oh, we love that word, right? It's all rooted in rejection. So if we're feeling dismissed, disqualified, disposed, or discarded, or we're afraid that these things are going to happen, where does this stuff come from? Why am I feeling these things all of a sudden? And one thing I want to say, one of the quotes that I have I put in one of my books, I cannot remember, but in a book actually it's not. It's just something that I've been saying. It's not in either one of my books. Maybe that's round 3. I don't know. But I said some people struggle with being selected or chosen because they think at some point the other party may feel they made the wrong decision and discard them. I'm going to read that again. Some people struggle with being selected or chosen because they think at some point the other party may feel they made the wrong decision and discard them. I know that's deep. So just, take that in for a minute and think about it. Is there anything that you actually can relate to at this very point of saying that there are some areas that I struggle with being chosen in because I'm just thinking, especially if it's in the hands of somebody else, they're going to change their mind, and I might as well just get ready for them to give me that boot, going to give me the boot and kick me, or again, dismiss me, mark me as being disqualified, dispose of me, or discard me, as I said, even in the quote. Sometimes we wonder, where does this stuff come from? We've all had past experiences that we've dealt with where this may be where those four Ds show up. Again, why these things show up, because of things I've dealt with. I'll even give you an example. I remember sometimes, I think I used to get on guys' nerves. I know y'all probably like, you can't get on guys' nerves. I think I was tap dancing on his last nerve because there were certain opportunities coming to me to sing, to act, to do things that were major. And I was like, wait a minute, me? God, you talking about me? It's almost like at some point God was like, oh, like, yes, I'm talking about you. But what I was struggling with was thinking that, okay, well, what if this opportunity, I get into this opportunity and then they end up thinking, oh, yeah, well, never mind. We changed our mind. We're going to get somebody else. And also because I have experienced that. Getting a lead role in a Christmas production in Atlanta, Georgia, and then only to be debunked and demoted to like the second understudy. And I was like, now how did I go from being at the top to like the second understudy? Like that doesn't even make sense. Oh, because this person is a gospel artist and they have a name and they're going to draw people. And to be honest, I can almost understand the marketing of that. And again, if somebody has a big name like that, they want to draw people. They want to draw audiences. I get it. No salt or anything like that. But the principle of it is don't give me a position and a seat and then you strip it from me after you solidified that I'm to be in this position. Because of that, then it made me feel like, oh, well, I must not be good enough then. I mean, I can sing. Like, I know there's a gospel artist and I admired the person and everything, but I'm like, I can sing, I can act, I can dance. So all these types of things. This is the reason why you brought me here and why you allowed me to be in this production. But because of that, that made me feel what, y'all? Dismissed. And I was like sent away. I'm like, who gonna be the second understudy? That made me feel like they felt as if I was disqualified. even though they chose me, it's like they, maybe because of this gospel artist, oh no, you are ill comparison to that person. This made me feel disposed and discarded. And even as I said in the saying, the quote I said, you think somebody's going to change their mind. In that case, they did. But let me flip this because of that. I just want to say this. This is also how this could protect you in being dismissed, disqualified, disposed, or discarded. That production didn't get off the ground. So it actually caved, it crashed. Nothing happened at all. So it wasn't that I was happy about it, but it taught me something. I can't put so much stock, and that's a past experience, but I can't put so much stock into thinking that someone's going to herald me or they're going to view me in such a way to think that they won't change their mind. But even if they change their mind, that does not mean that I'm not eligible or that I qualify or that I'm an amazing person or that I'm talented or that I'm gifted. Just the same thing for you. Some people you've been in certain situations, I'm sure, that are very similar, that it made you feel as if you were thrown away or you were rejected of any kind. But then you might find out that, again, we hear it all the time, that rejection is protection or even redirection. So it's like, that might have actually worked for my good, because what do we know in Romans 8:28, y'all? It says that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to their purpose. So even if these 4 Ds have happened to you at any point, it actually fares out, and you fare out better in it, and actually it works for your good. Another thing I want to say is a variety of relationships. Maybe you've had to experience these things in family, where you're not the one that is always you're not always the one that's the first pick, or you're not the person that they reach out to, or that you almost like you get the last straw at the family reunion. It's like, I didn't know nothing about the family reunion. Why didn't nobody tell me about it? Why nobody ever call and tell me about stuff? Why nobody ever call on me to ask me for things, or let me help or do anything of that nature? So therefore, you feel like you're this, as we get the term, the black sheep. What if it's been in romantic relationships where you've been in a relationship before, and that person, maybe they cheat on you, and so then therefore you're like, okay, I feel definitely dismissed, like you just trying to get rid of me. I feel like maybe I'm disqualified. Maybe I'm not good enough for you. Maybe that's why. And I want to go back to that definition, a quick definition of saying to be ineligible for a prize. So it feels like, you're working so hard in this relationship to have this prize of a relationship with this person. You think they're a great person, an amazing person, and then they might cheat on you. Or they might all of a sudden go through a couple of months and then all of a sudden say, I'm not feeling this no more. And even that's their right. But at the same time, it's like, well, I wonder if I guess I wasn't enough, or I guess I didn't, measure up. Or maybe it's just your life has been saved, and you ought to be glad and thanking God that they did what they did so that you don't have to remain around. So another thing is, or maybe they can happen in friendships too, y'all, or even business partnerships, anything of that nature, to where you've been invited in certain circles or organizations, and because of that, you start to feel as if, you start noticing certain changes, and then they might just wipe their hands with you, even if maybe you're a person who was highly qualified and they dismissed you or they discarded you or tried to get rid of you because they were intimidated by you. Another thing is fear of abandonment and rejection. I kind of already hit on this a little bit, but if you've had any level of abandonment or rejection, of course, when things that get better rise up for you, you're starting to think like, okay, so when are things going to change? When are you going to leave me? And let me say this too, with abandonment, it's not always someone visibly or physically leaving you. Sometimes a person is visible, but they're not present. They're visible, but they're not present. They're not engaged with you. They're not really connected with you. And again, they're right. You see them face to face, but they're really not there. So those things might come up if you have had you've had abandonment, you've had rejection. It's like, okay, I have a fear of this stuff happening because I've seen it happen over and over again. So it's almost like I'm waiting on this to happen too. This also can come from being used to chaos or unhealthy functionality. And what that means, I'll give you an example. If you take somebody who grew up in a household who is it's violent, it's loud, people yell at each other, people fight, people curse at each other, people throw things at one another. If you put one person out of that family into a healthy environment where there's a healthy communication, there's love, there's compassion, there's nurturing, there's care, there's mindfulness, there's thoughtfulness, because of that, they're going to be very uncomfortable. So they're going to revert back to what they're used to. So since there's no chaos, I'm going to create it. this is too, I don't know about this. This is too nice. Y'all too nice to me. This is too good. This is too something that I'm so unfamiliar with. So now my nervous system is causing me to say, okay, let's go back to what we know. So I'll create the chaos. So what am I saying in all of this? Saying that, when we come into places or parts of our lives now that are so good, so healthy, so great, so exciting, and it's like you go right through that door of whatever those things are that you've always wanted, and then you freeze because it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is too good to be true. That's a common thing all the time. That if you feel something that's out of your ordinary or something it feels too good, which again, it's like, why would something feel too good to me? Because you've known pain, you've known disappointment, you've known neglect, you've known certain levels of abuse, you know what it's like to be alone, you know what it's like to cry all the time, to be in depression, on fight or flight mode, fight, flight, or freeze, because you're anxious about things. So this could be too good to be true. But I'm here to say that it's not too good to be true. It's just that it's true for you. And you're just discovering and acknowledging that you've always deserved this. And I'm going to run that back real quick, that it's not too good to be true, but it's true for you. And you're just recognizing and acknowledging, coming into discovering that you've always deserved this. So, one of the key things I want to say is really try to be careful about sabotaging something that's so good for you. Don't sabotage it, because then it's like you're telling yourself, you're going back to like what Josh was saying, myself, I'm talking about Josh, I'm talking like I'm James Brown for a second. Wait a minute. This is a man's world. But anyway, if I'm in a position or place of thinking, who me? Who me? Who me all the time? Because I don't believe that I deserve certain things, I'll start to sabotage. I tell myself, "Oh, this ain't gonna last. Oh, this ain't what it's all cracked up to be. This really must be for somebody else." I remember once getting asked to lead a song at a major on a major platform, and I really was talking myself like, oh no, they picked the wrong person. They need to pick somebody who's probably done recorded or somebody who's whatever. Like, why are they picking me? And I called my godmother and I talked to her about it, and she did everything to but cuss me out to let me know, I'm so tired of you thinking that you got to see yourself. Let me say this: sometimes people around you, or sometimes people just are who can see you from the outside, they see how great you are, how talented you are, how skillful you are, how beautiful you are on the inside and out, how amazing you are, how spectacular you are, how wonderful you are, how magnificent you are. But you're the last one to see it. And sometimes you don't see it. You don't look in the mirror and see that, because all you see is the pain you've experienced. All you see is feeling not good enough. All you see is that you're unlovable. Sometimes all you're seeing is how many people have been absent from your life or who have left your life. So this makes you feel like you're a person who people don't want to stay around, because there's something wrong with you. There's something that's defective about you. So when things start to go really well, or start to come into your life really well, you'll start to sabotage, and you'll start speaking so negatively and so critically. You'll be speaking the things, not speaking down about yourself, but also speaking yourself away from these things, or speaking these things away from you. What I want to always say too is that I like to tell my clients is that you're always going to a certain level in your life where you're shaking hands. I know what shaking hands is. That's usually tied to an agreement of some sort. So you're shaking hands with the new you at different phases of your life. And it's going to be up to you to say, hey, I've reached a place. Okay, this is Josh of the old, or who he is presently, but this is Josh of the next. And I have the decision to say, hey, do I agree to take who I am presently over to this side, or do I want to remain and stay where I am? That's a choice that I get to make, because again, this might be the unknown. I don't know what's on this side with this Josh, but I gotta know it's gotta be better than what's been, hopefully, right? But I don't know unless I take a leap, unless I try, because who this person is presently, there's some things in him or her, whoever that is, whoever you are out there, audience, that you can't take over to this next phase. And that can be scary too, because it's like, I don't know what it's like for things to be a little healthier. I don't know what it's like for things not to always be so stressful because that's what I'm used to. So you've been conditioned. You've been conditioned with pain. You've been conditioned with disappointment, being let down. So again, I don't know about going over there and laying this stuff aside. The Bible says, lay aside every weight and sin that so easily besets you. So it's like, what do I have to sacrifice and lay aside over here in order to go over here? It's like, okay, Josh, this is Josh of the future. This is a Josh of the past. Are we going to agree that you're ready for the next step, the next phase of your life? So you get to choose. Shake hands. I'm telling you right now, shake hands with the next phase of who you're becoming, because you're going to do this multiple times, multiple cycles in your life, because you're shedding just like a snake. There's just certain things you just can't take. And in order to go over to this next place, you got to tell yourself, I can't continue to be this same way. And it doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. You're just evolving. You're just growing. You're just going to a place that you've never experienced, but quiet as kept, you desired it. You just didn't always think that it was possible. So one thing I want to say before we go is just when we're coming against these negative thoughts or irrational thoughts or fears that come up when good things start to come into your life, you're the one who asked for it. You're the one who prayed for it. And even if you thought that it wouldn't come and it's coming, we want to make sure that we're challenging those irrational fears. And what do I mean by that? Basically, don't add or subtract anything. Just focus on what is. Don't add or subtract anything. If you have irrational fears that come up, that's like if somebody says, "Oh, I'm too old to record an album because you got to do that by 25." Says who? You got to do that earlier in your life. Says who? I can't get married now because I'm 65. I mean, it's too late. Says who? And it's like, look at what you're saying. And again, don't add or subtract anything. And it's like, what am I really saying? Maybe it's not so much that you can't get married at 60 years old. It's just that you're saying, I've been through enough situations in relationships in the past where I'm thinking that this is going to continue. I'm going to have another bad relationship. Okay, let's say that, but then it's like, let's look at that even and say, well, is that really true? You don't know. Maybe because you've done some work. Maybe you look back at those relationships and you've actually healed from some things, and you've actually learned to see what you no longer want to deal with, what you'll no longer tolerate. You have boundaries now. You're assertive. You'll speak up. You'll speak your mind about things. You don't just go along. You're no longer the people pleaser. You're no longer the person who is feeling like you have to depend on somebody or make them happy or do all that you can for them to make sure that they don't abandon or reject you. So it's like we look at those things like that. It's like, is that really true that this is going to happen? Probably not. But sometimes because of what we've experienced, we tend to think, okay, I hope this doesn't happen again, but I'm scared that it's going to happen again. You don't add or subtract anything. Focus on what is. Okay. Next thing is, make sure you're affirming yourself. We speak those things that are not as though they were. If you believe that you're going to be single for the rest of your life, guess what? You're going to be single for the rest of your life, because that's what you keep proclaiming and speaking over yourself. If you believe that you're always going to be broke and you're never going to have more money than you desire, then that's exactly what's going to happen. If you feel like you're always going to be sick or ailing in your body, then that's exactly what you're going to get. But if I affirm myself and say, and I always tell my clients, even when we get affirmations, and I know when I first started them years ago for myself, I think I started with like 5. And saying those to myself every morning, that I was handsome, that I was very successful, that I was very smart, that I was intelligent, that I was amazing, whatever it was, I don't even remember. But I remember saying those things, and I didn't believe them at first. I didn't believe them at all. It was almost making me feel nauseous. I was like, ugh, I'm speaking so well about myself like this. Like, it felt weird. But the more that I kept speaking it every day, the more I kept gravitating towards things that affirmed it. The more I kept and validated it. The more things that actually started to come into my life that validated it as well. So again, if we can speak negatively about ourselves and believe it, you can flip that thing and speak positively about yourself and believe that as well. Last thing I want to say too is, be sure we're not well not last, but be sure to focus on self-care. Self-care is not just going to get your nails done or a haircut or going to get a massage or going to get your pedicure or going shopping or things like that. Self-care could mean when I get to myself and have some quiet time. I turn my phone on do not disturb. I might read a book. I might want to just go out in nature. I might want to go for a walk. I might want to do whatever it is that's going to edify and feed me in a healthy manner. Those are things that you need to focus on with self-care. Why am I saying that? Because if you focus on self-care, which is, again, another form of self-love, uh, you're going to start to allow yourself to embrace healthier things, greater things, because you're doing that to yourself. What's happening internally is going to start showing up externally. You want to see somebody and want to know what's going on in their life, go to their house and look around in rooms or whatever. If somebody's in some chaos or dealing with some things, their house is going to look like that. It's going to reflect that. So whatever inner working you're doing, and by edifying and pouring into yourself, it's going to show up and blossom in great things externally outside of you. So only thing I want to also address before we get out of here, this is the last thing, I promise, but why not you? Why not you? You have been through enough. Some of you have really been through some things that tried your mind, broke your heart, made you want to give up. And even everything around you could have actually proven that it was okay to give up in that moment. But you're still here. You're still standing. You're still pushing through your life. I don't want to say fighting, but I want to say that you're still pushing forward, no matter what circumstances you're dealing with. Don't you want to breathe and relieve and know that there's more to life than just struggling, or that more to life than just living in pain or chaos, or always feeling as if you're in survival mode, or always looking over your shoulder to see if somebody's going to hurt you, always thinking that somebody is speaking negatively about you, or going to attack you, or going to hurt you, or going to harm you, thinking that you're going to fail, thinking that things are never going to change, things are never going to get better, that you're never going to live your dreams, you're never going to have the visions that God gave you. Let me say this too: if God is giving you dreams and visions, that means you have the capacity to fulfill it. He's not just going to throw something out at you just to play dangle the carrot over you, whatever. You're not a rabbit either, okay? But if he's going to give you those dreams or visions, they got to come to pass. And it's up to you to partner with him to believe that. And that's why it's so important when God wants to bring things into your life that he's even showing you. It's like, are you prepared, and are you ready to embrace it? Or are you going to repel it because you're thinking about it being an early expiration date on it? It's not going to last. So make sure, while you're thinking through all the stuff that I shared with you on tonight, why not you? Why not you? You've been through enough, but you've also conquered a lot. You fought through a lot, and you've won a lot. You got more wins than losses than you think. And again, like I always say, the only L's we take are lessons. We don't lose anything. The only L's we take are lessons. So why not you? Why not have that beautiful relationship that you prayed and cried for, or marriage, or friendships, or business, or living in a certain city or a certain state, vacations, jobs, careers, school, education, whatever it is, y'all think about it, finances, whatever it is, why not you? And when God wants to bless you with that, or when he sends those things into your life, or those people, places, things, or ideas, why repel something that you always have actually deserved, and you're just coming into the discovery of it? So, everybody take a breath. I hope that you all have enjoyed tonight. It has been such a joy being on here with you all today about talking about the 4Ds, because you are not dismissed, disqualified, disposed, or discarded. I promise you, you're not. So I hope that you all have an amazing remainder of this day, evening, weekend, all the above. And make sure you share this with somebody. And I want to say, I really want to thank you all for sharing week after week, these gems and nuggets that we just want to get out and share, and we don't want to hold anything to ourselves. And also, YouTube, y'all are not playing. I'm telling you, YouTube, y'all own something. The Lord is with you, and he is. He's with you, because these numbers are increasing, and that's what's important. It's all about other people being able to be inspired, not just by what I'm saying or what anyone on here is saying, but also taking what's being heard and going to do something about it, going to put action to it, going to walk it out, day in and day out. This is a new thing that I like to always talk about when we talk about reconditioning ourselves from past versions of who we were, reconditioning ourselves to become more of who we were always ordained and destined to be. We just had to come through some phases, and we're going to continue to go through each phase. But remember, don't fear or fret or run away from shaking the hand of that next phase for you that's calling you higher, that's calling you to greater. Because guess what? What do I always say, y'all? You've always been great. You're just getting better. You've always been great. You're just getting better. So I love y'all. Have an amazing rest of this day and evening. I love y'all so much. Please spread love. Spread love. I don't know. It's like I had a list for a minute. Please spread love now more than ever because we need it. We need the unity. And it starts with you. It starts with a smile. It starts with a hello, speaking to somebody. It starts with a text. Starts with a call. Starts with an email. Starts with taking things like this and sharing them with other people. Letting them know that you're thinking about them, letting them know that you care. Look, let's not wait until people are, let's celebrate and love on each other while we're still alive. And don't wait until somebody's birthday. Don't wait till the holidays to love. Well, I think that those are just significant things in our lives, for birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of that. While that's great, I'm not against any of that. What I am saying, though, is let's not wait until those days. Let those days be reminders of what we should be doing 365. Okay. Let's love and acknowledge people every day, especially people who are in our lives because they mean something to you. They're dear to you. Let's love on them and celebrate them daily as much as we can, as much as you can. Might not be daily, but just as much as you can. Also, with holidays and stuff, we come together, we eat, we fellowship, we do all of those things. We should be doing that all the time, right? So I love y'all, and I'm out of here now. Stop talking to me. I got to go now. You be good now. You're here. See y'all next Friday when at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Love y'all much. Bye.
Thanks for watching The Inspiration Station with Joshua Lenox. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.